LA This Week.
How the LADWP and city plan to move forward after the massive flood on Sunset Boulevard. I'm Rasha Goel, and that story's up next.
A dual-pronged approach to battle homelessness here in Skid Row. First, sanitize the streets, and second, offer resident services that many of them didn't know existed. I'm Gil Reyes with a new collaboration between the city and the county.
I'm Anna Marcos. The road to the future is costing too much, according to the city controller. More on the latest audit of the city's street paving and pothole repair services coming up.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. The big Trunkline rupture in Westwood and the ensuing flood are now behind us. Now before the city is looking at ways to minimize future ruptures throughout LA's aging water infrastructure. But as Rasha Goel reports, city leaders say the reality is there will be more pipe breaks and leaks in the future.
After being closed for 6 days due to a ruptured water main that sent 20 million gallons of water gushing into the streets and the UCLA campus, Sunset Boulevard was finally reopened to traffic.
With 700 miles, roughly 700 miles of large diameter pipe in our system, it would be somewhat normal for us to get leaks on these types of pipes. This one just happened to be a little bit more catastrophic than others.
LADWP crews have repaired the pipes and say they should last for the next 200 years. City officials say water main breaks will occur, but they are working with the LADWP on reducing the number of times they happen by working on upgrading the infrastructure.
Council President Herb Wesson and I introduced a motion both to look at what happened on Sunset, but also going forward to look at the current speed of our repairs of our aging water infrastructure and to see whether we can find funding sources to increase that pace from what is currently a 300-year repair cycle.
Yes, you heard right. Councilman Paul Corrett says it would take the LADWP 300 years to fix all of the city's aging pipes. Officials have not pegged the exact cost of the ruptured water main damage, but say they commend how the situation was handled.
Unlike almost any other city, we were able to turn the water off, repair the broken pipes, guarantee everybody's safety, and get everything back to normal in a very short period of time.
For hundreds of UCLA students and faculty, the new normal is dealing with damage to their cars after they were finally towed from flooded parking lots to be claimed at another nearby parking lot. In Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
While there has been a discussion of rate hikes, the mayor says there is no immediate plan to increase DWP rates, though he is committed to infrastructure upgrades. And in This Week in Tweets, we take a look at some of LA Department of Water and Power's tweets regarding the Trunkline rupture. The LADWP regularly tweeted updates during the leak as well as during the repair process. And in recent days, it took to Twitter to offer some perspective and information about the state of the city's water pipes. In one tweet, the LADWP wrote, "We have 15 leaks or breaks per 100 miles per year. U.S. average is 27 per 100 miles. Our system is remarkably tight," says Water System Head Jim McDaniel. And seemingly in response to a suggestion regarding how the utility may inspect its pipes, this tweet said, "Inspecting pipes from the inside with cameras doesn't work on pipes where corrosion occurs mostly on the outside." And also this tweet, "We're starting to use more plastic pipe in areas with highly corrosive soils and earthquake-resistant iron pipe in a recent pilot program." Later in CityBeat, we'll have information on how you can file a claim if your property was damaged in the ensuing flood, so grab a pen and paper. A new approach to battling homelessness on Skid Row, offering services directly to displaced residents, while Bureau of Sanitation crews spray down the streets and sidewalks they call home. Gil Reyes reports on this new collaboration between the City of LA and LA County health officials.
Our camera's got a preview of the massive week-long street cleaning set to take place in downtown Skid Row starting August 13th. Local leaders are calling it a new day in a community widely regarded as the nation's homeless capital.
It's the beginning
of an effort to say that the needs on Skid Row are not only about policing and cleaning, but it's about providing social services on the spot.
That cleanup to target a 6-block area between 5th and 7th Streets here in Skid Row. During those 7 days, county health officials say they will be trying to speak with as many people as possible to offer free health and psychiatric screenings, also supportive housing, but even they'll tell you this will not be easy.
We're going to help as many people as we possibly can.
Mike Arnold from the LA Homeless Services Authority says one of the biggest challenges is not enough resources, not enough room at Skid Row shelters to house all of the homeless people who will be displaced during the spraydown.
Where do they go specifically? Around the corner to a street that isn't being cleaned. The good news is that there really isn't the same sort of pushing them out into the broader community that went on years ago.
Operation Healthy Streets, now a collaboration between the City of LA and county health officials, will not end homelessness, but is part of an outreach plan to make life on the streets a little easier, approaching people directly and telling them where to receive free tuberculosis testing and how to apply for Medicaid.
A lot of them are at their last in, last rope, but they don't know where to go. They don't know how to get the resources. A lot of people aren't even from LA. They come here and nobody's out there telling them what resources to go to.
But perhaps this will help. The city has now stepped up its week-long street cleanings from quarterly to bi-monthly. And officials say community outreach will be taking place weeks leading up to every hose down. In Skid Row, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Local officials also promised to collect data on housing placement and medical coverage during the cleanup. The road to the future is paved, in this case, with lots of potholes. Those are the findings of City Controller Ron Galperin's latest audit of the Bureau of Street Services and its pothole repair program. Anna Marcos has the details.
One of the city's 2 aging asphalt plants served as backdrop for the city controller's announcement. Ron Galperin's latest audit, The Road to the Future, claims the city's pothole repair services are inefficient and costly. Outdated technology and incomplete records are also a problem.
I live on a street that's a mess. The concrete is cracked, potholes pop up every few feet, the road is actually crumbling. And in fact, the street I live on is rated F by the city.
The audit also shows the Bureau of Street Services, which makes street repairs, failed to collect $190 million in fees owed by utility companies for tearing up the streets, money that could have fixed more potholes.
We need to look at who can we collect from that is doing damage to the streets? How can we actually get much better cost accounting on the work that we're doing? How do we reduce the cost of asphalt that we are spending on right now when we know we're paying way too much for it?
One example of the inefficiencies is this asphalt plant itself. Modern plants and technologies can recycle 50% or even 100% of used asphalt, but this plant can only recycle 10%. Bureau of Street Services managers say they will cooperate with the audit in spite of limited resources. But they say right now there isn't enough money to repair the worst cases, streets with a classification grade of D or F.
These streets require major repair on the base, sub-base. Basically, you have to remove the entire structure of the street. What we have today is the result of decades of chronic underfunding.
Galperin recommends the Bureau find new sources of funding and that it improve its analysis and record keeping and prioritize important streets, as well as enhance its technology. He will revisit the Bureau's progress next year. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
To find out what grade your own street has, visit controlpanel.la. As controversy continues to swirl around the issue of unaccompanied minors crossing the border and heated discussions regarding what cities, states, and the government should do to deal with the influx, Rasha Goel reports on what several city leaders say Los Angeles needs to do.
Several LA City Council members recently called for immediate support and humane treatment of unaccompanied minors coming to the U.S. from Central America. 57,000 minors, mostly from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, have crossed into the U.S. since last October. It is expected that number will rise to 90,000 by the end of the year.
In 2008, the Congress passed and the president signed the William Wilberforce Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act of 2008 and makes it illegal to send away unaccompanied children from those countries. The children arriving from Central American countries fall under this provision and simply cannot be turned away.
Those who oppose undocumented immigrants say they are a burden on the community. In the city of Murrieta, busloads of immigrants were stopped by protesters.
This is not a time for us to stand in judgment. It is a time for compassion, and we must help.
Of the 57,000 minors entering the U.S., 30,000 have been placed with relatives or sponsors while they await immigration hearings.
I think it's time for us to think about how we will make sure that these children are treated upon arrival as we move into reunification and legal proceedings.
They're children. We need to be there for them. We need to be able to offer them social services. We need to be able to give them mental health services.
According to reports, the Obama administration is seeking a $3.7 billion package to deal with what the president is calling a humanitarian crisis. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The children's arrival has sparked debates in many states over how to pay for shelter, food, and education for the children. It's about community solidarity and crime prevention, and there was plenty of that to go around as the Southland celebrated National Night Out. Yana Kay reports.
Business owner Lindsay Hollister is welcoming customers at a booth she set up right in front of her pie store in downtown LA's Arts District. She's just one of many vendors who are taking a united stand against crime in her beloved neighborhood by participating in National Night Out.
We're still downtown, we're a big city, so definitely things happen, and we have definitely felt the presence of the LAPD helping us out when we've had issues, and just being here in the neighborhood and bringing awareness to the safety of it.
This is the 31st National Night Out crime prevention event, and it offers an opportunity for police officers and community members to get together and network, exchange ideas, and build stronger relationships with each other.
This is where we get to talk, usually under non-stressful situations, where they get to know us. The community wants to know their police. They want to know their officers, and this is how we get to do it.
A number of Southland cities are taking part in National Night Out, including many from the West Side and the Valley. Past events have included cookouts and block parties. And here in Sherman Oaks, there was certainly no shortage of neighborhood spirit or food trucks, as residents came out in droves to mingle and take a stand against crime.
We've had historic lows in crime, not just because of great policing, but because we have the community that is a part of that partnership, of looking out for their neighbors.
Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti was joined by Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck. They say communities can become even safer when residents know and trust their local police officers.
Building communities is extremely important to keep a neighborhood safe.
And by the looks of it, this neighborhood is one tight-knit community. Resident and mother of two, Erin Amos, says events like these help her feel safe.
I think it's great because we get to go get out and meet the officers that are protecting us specifically in the neighborhood, and it's get to meet our neighbors and have fun.
All the neighborhoods around here are all connected. We all communicate with one another.
And when communities look out for each other and have fun together, it's a win-win for all. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
Started in 1984, National Night Out is traditionally held during the first week of August. And the issue of crime and violence is also a big concern shared across the nation by schools and universities in every community. A recent gathering brought the realities of campus violence front and center as educators and law enforcement officials try to find solutions.
SC, over 20,000 undergraduates, almost as many staff, some Saturdays, well over 100,000 people at events.
At the first ever campus safety conference hosted by Campus Safety Magazine, LAPD Chief Charlie Beck was invited to speak to school administrators, school security personnel, and other concerned individuals. While crime is at historic lows across the country, Chief Beck says there's the other side to the pendulum.
The sheer volume of active shooter incidents on our campuses, the tremendous disparity that we face between the very poor and the very rich that drives some crime that affects our campuses.
In 2012, 2 USC graduate students from China were gunned down outside one of the victims' apartments, just blocks away from campus. 2 men were arrested for the murders. And just last month, another USC graduate student from China, 24-year-old Xing Ranji, was beaten to death with a baseball bat as he walked home from a study group. 4 teenagers ranging from 16 to 19 have been arrested.
Events are happening around the country on a daily, weekly basis, whether it be a sexual event or an active shooter. There are more and more universities in K through 12. Educators are looking for ways and to help get the message out to protect their people as best they can.
Vendors also attended the conference, providing information on security tools ranging from high-tech surveillance systems to mace and pepper spray to keypad security door locks. Another tool money can't buy. LAPD Chief Charlie Beck says at the end of the day, cooperation between the school, the local community, and local law enforcement is critical in keeping our schools safe. In the case of the 2012 murders of the 2 USC grad students, 2 suspects were arrested. One of them pleaded guilty and is now serving 2 consecutive life sentences. Legends of professional skateboarding helped the city open its newest skate park. Gil Reyes reports on the impact it's having in the community of Boyle Heights.
These skateboarders practice their drop-ins without police dropping by to spoil the fun.
We go into street spots where they kick us out, send the cops after us, and now we have a perfect place to practice.
Hundreds turned out for the opening of Boyle Heights' newest skate plaza in Hazard Park, a 10,000 square foot thrasher's paradise with stairs, rails, and ramps. The cost, $320,000. Money was raised with the help of pro skateboarding icon Rob Deerdeck.
I think something like this, that's a great alternative athletic for kids, may be misunderstood because it's a newer sport, but I think when they see how much use it gets and how many kids enjoy it, I think anyone that was opposed to it would change their mind at this point.
Compared to other outdoor activities like cycling, for example, skateboarding has received little love from the general public. It's banned in most public spaces, so skateboarders oftentimes have to practice at night, in parking garages, busy streets, and other areas where safety is compromised. Councilman Jose Huizar wants to change that. He's now opened 2 skate parks in Boyle Heights, home to a large skateboarding community.
At the end of the day, it gives them the exercise they need. It gives them a place to be safe. And after we opened the first skate park at Hollenbeck, I had a lot of constituents tell me that they see a lot more kids at that skate park, and they like it because there's less of them on their driveways. Skaters
say the sport offers an alternative to gangs. Parents say they're happy their kids are practicing here instead of on the street. Another rad playground to land your tricks. In Boyle Heights, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The California Endowment and Diamond Supply Company helped secure funds to make the skate park possible. Filing a damage claim from the LADWP Trunkline rupture in Westwood, the mayor prepares to review the performance of every single city department head, and the mayor talks salary hikes for LAPD officers. These stories and more in CityBEAT. Los Angeles police officers, dressed in white union T-shirts, recently showed up in force at City Hall demanding salary raises. And a week later, the mayor chaired a closed session meeting of the Executive Employee Relations Committee regarding collective bargaining instructions for the Los Angeles Police Protective League. He had this to say at the conclusion of the meeting.
Making sure that we can recruit officers at the right salaries and retain officers who during the recession came in at a lower level remains a priority, and that's something that we need to do together with the union.
The mayor says the city is also preparing to work with the United Firefighters of Los Angeles City regarding pay hikes for the city's firefighters. If your vehicle or other property was damaged during the Westwood Sunset Boulevard Trunkline rupture, you're able to file a claim by going to ladwp.com/claims and downloading a form. Claims can be sent via email at ccenter@ladwp.com or by mail to the LA Department of Water and Power Attention Claims Section, P.O. Box 51111, Room 342, Los Angeles, California 90051-0100. You are asked to write UCLA claim on the envelope or in the subject line of your email. When Mayor Eric Garcetti first took office, he actually required every city department head to reapply for his or her job. Throughout the past year, the mayor and his staff have worked with the general managers and their departments to set goals and to establish metrics for measuring and reporting departmental performance. And now the mayor's office has announced that the mayor has begun his second annual review of every city department head in order to hold them accountable for their performance. Since taking office in 2013, the mayor has appointed 10 new general managers, including Chief Ralph Terrazas to the Los Angeles Fire Department and Marcy Edwards to the Department of Water and Power. You're looking at a composite sketch of a man police a sexually assaulted woman walking inside Debs Park in the 4200 block of Monterey Road. The first incident was reported in January of this year when a woman walking in the park was groped by a Hispanic man on a bicycle. Then on June 25th, a woman told police a Hispanic man on a green bicycle exposed himself to her. The latest incident was reported on July 20th. This time, the suspect reportedly was armed with a knife and grabbed the female victim by the shoulder and struck her. The suspect is said to have short, dark hair, to be around 20 to 25 years old, and 5'7" to 5'8", around 140 to 160 pounds. Volunteers helped mark Councilman Gil Cedillo's first year in office by spotlighting his Keep It Clean campaign. Anna Marcos takes a look.
This is what a community cleaning up its act looks like. Residents in Councilmember Gil Cedillo's District 1 are celebrating the one-year anniversary of the Keep It Clean campaign.
We've been successful in partnering with the Bureau of Sanitation and cleaning up 289 alleys. We've been able to pick up tons of trash.
Curbside bulky item pickup? Forget about it. City leaders in District 1 have launched a pilot program that picks up bulky items from inside your own house.
Bureau of Sanitation will come to your house and pick up your bulky item, whether that piece of furniture, whatever it may be. They will take it out of your house. You do no longer have to place it on the sidewalk for pickup. This is the newest change in bulky item pickups. We think that this will keep the streets a little cleaner.
And so the volunteers come in all shapes and sizes: tiny debris sweepers, big weed shovelers, enterprising rakers, and everything in between, all ready to make their community a cleaner, safer place to live.
Cleaning up the community and being something positive can be done and can continue to be done. Lead by example.
But a few dozen volunteers can't do it alone.
Since we've spent a year and over $1 million in cleaning this community, we want to make sure that the message is out that we need to keep it clean.
With a little luck, maybe more in the community will pitch in. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
The in-house bulky item pickup pilot program could spread to other districts. The LA Dodgers, by the way, also helped in the cleanup. It's got miles of jogging and horseback trails, picnic areas, and plenty of outdoor recreation. But now visitors to Griffith Park can also get their hearts pumping by using the park's outdoor gym. Yana Kay reports.
Located by the Crystal Springs picnic area in Griffith Park, visitors will now be able to work up a sweat thanks to this brand new exercise equipment.
This is a great opportunity for people who want to come and do a little bit of exercise. It's a nice, safe way to try out some new exercises. So I think it's a great addition to the park.
3, 2, 1.
City officials and community members held a ribbon cutting to introduce the new fitness zone, which features 13 stations of workout equipment and is conveniently situated near Baseball Diamond, golf course, and popular walking trail. Councilmember Tom LaBonge gave a shout out to fellow councilman Mike Bonin, who represents the West Side.
See that, Mike Bonin? You got Muscle Beach, but we got it here too.
The fitness zone is part of the Department of Recreation and Parks' goal to bring health and fitness to communities in Los Angeles.
Physical activity is so important, and in this day and age, we need to really concentrate on that. So I'm very happy to see this come to light.
The Department of Recreation and Parks says fitness zones have proven very popular among residents because they're easy to use and accessible. I'm Yana Kay for LA This Week.
In this week's list of things to do, a celebration at El Pueblo, Maryland, the exhibit, and the renowned photographer may be taking your picture. The El Pueblo Historical Monument, better known as home to Olvera Street, is celebrating 130 years of the Plaza Firehouse on Saturday, August 16th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the El Pueblo Historical Monument, located at 125 Paseo de la Plaza.
El Pueblo will be celebrating this historic milestone by showcasing antique fire rigs and apparatuses on the plaza and rarely seen photos and artifacts. There will also be living history performances courtesy of the LAFD Historical Society in the Pico House at 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Go to Facebook/LA This Week, where we posted information on the event. If you are a Marilyn Monroe fan, you likely already know about this exhibit at the Hollywood Museum, located at 1660 North Highland Avenue in Hollywood. Commemorating the 52nd anniversary of Marilyn Monroe's passing, Marilyn, the exhibit returns to the Hollywood Museum, showcasing an intimate look at the actress's life and legacy. The exhibit showcases Marilyn's gorgeous gowns and personal wardrobe, including the one and only $1 million dress she wore on her USO tour while entertaining 10,000 troops in Korea. The exhibition also features photographs and documents from her private files. The ongoing exhibit will be on display through the end of the month. For dates, times, and ticket prices, go to thehollywoodmuseum.com. Gary Leonard is an LA treasure. He's photographed the city's milestones, people, and happenings since the 1970s. And on Saturday, August 16th, he'll take a photo of you. That is, if you show up at the LA Central Library's free event hosted by Photo Friends of the Los Angeles Public Library. LA Observe's Kevin Roderick will talk with Leonard about his amazing career and show some highlights of his Take My Picture photos. Mr. Leonard will then take a group photo of the audience after the presentation, which will take place from 2 to 3:30 p.m. The Central Library is located at 630 West 5th Street downtown. Go to lapl.org for details. And that's a look at some upcoming things to do.
It could well be the dance event of the year for many residents of Watts. We're talking about the Watts Senior Prom. Anna Marco shows us how it made some senior citizens feel special.
This is like no high school prom ever. For one thing, the prom goers have been out of high school a while. And for many, it provides a trip down memory lane.
Oh yeah, long way back, long way back. See, I'm an OG from Watts. I've been here 67 years, and that takes me back to where I come from.
And who is the dashing young man now entering the dance hall? That is Councilmember Joe Buscaino. His office teamed up with the Watts Neighborhood Council and the Department of Recreation and Parks to put on the Watts Senior Prom, the first such event ever. There is an age limit. You have to be at least 62 to get in, unless, of course, you're a council member.
It gives an opportunity again for us to praise our seniors, love them and thank them, and let them know that they're not alone.
There were extra goodies like awards for the youngest and oldest senior citizen.
Thank you.
Buscaino was going to bring his 92-year-old grandmother. Instead, he gave her the Victory Award for surviving a fall which made her unable to attend. So his mother accepted in her place. And just like in high school, you can't have a prom without a king and queen. No chaperones needed here. All in all, a day to remember for years to come. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
City leaders say they may hold the Watts Senior Prom as an annual event. And that's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ellen Chang. A reminder that you could catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.